why most people fail at English, and how 2026 changes everything. Welcome to the Mindset English channel. I'm Michael Carter. Welcome back. And today's topic is the Complete English Learning Roadmap 2026 Story, AI, and Real Conversation. Let me start with something important. If you have been learning English for years, if you understand grammar but freeze when you speak, if you know many words but still feel not confident, this is not your fault. You are not failing at English. The system failed you. Most people were taught English the wrong way. They were taught to study English, not to use English. Think about this. You didn't learn your first language by memorizing rules. You learned it by listening, copying, making mistakes, and trying again. But with English, most learners were told, first learn grammar, first learn rules, don't speak until you're correct. And that one mistake created years of fear, fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of being judged. So people stay silent. Now here's the truth. Most courses won't tell you. Fluency is not intelligence. Fluency is training. And 2026 is the year everything changes. Because for the first time in history, English learners no longer need expensive teachers, foreign travel, perfect pronunciation, or native speaker environments. What you need now is a system, a roadmap. And in this series, I'm going to give you that roadmap in step by step. But before we go forward, we need to break one dangerous lie. The lie is this: if I just learn more vocabulary, I'll become fluent. That is not true. You can know 10,000 words and still be silent. Why? Because speaking is a skill, not knowledge, and skills are built differently. Let me explain with a short story. Imagine someone who watches swimming videos every day. They know every technique. They know how professionals move their arms, but they never enter the water. Will they swim? Of course not. English works the same way. Watching videos, reading books, and memorizing words is watching swimming. Speaking is entering the water. And most learners never enter. They wait for confidence, but confidence never comes first. Action creates confidence. Now here's the good news. In 2026, we have something powerful that learners before you never had. We have AI. Not AI as a replacement for humans, but AI as a private, patient, judgment-free practice partner. And when you combine story-based learning, daily micro-speaking AI conversation, and real-life simulation, you get something powerful, you get natural fluency. That's what this roadmap is about. This roadmap has 3 pillars. Story, AI, conversation. Let's talk about the first one today. Story. Humans are wired for stories. You remember stories more than rules. You feel stories more than explanations. That's why children learn faster than adults. They don't learn grammar. They learn meaning. In 2026, the smartest English learners don't ask, "What rule is this?" They ask, "What is happening in this story?" When you learn English through stories, vocabulary sticks naturally, grammar becomes automatic. Pronunciation improves without effort. You don't translate. You understand. And understanding is the foundation of speaking. But here's where most people make a mistake. They only listen. Listening is important, but it's not enough. You must respond. even one sentence, even quietly, even imperfectly. That's why in this roadmap we focus on micro speaking, not 30 minutes of forced talking, not long speeches, just 30, 60 seconds daily, one thought, one reaction, one response. This removes fear. And now, AI makes this easier than ever. Think about this. What if you could practice English anytime? Repeat the same conversation 10 times, make mistakes without embarrassment, get instant feedback, and never feel rushed. That's what AI gives you. AI is not your teacher, AI is your training partner. And when used correctly, it can accelerate fluency faster than traditional methods. But, and this is very important, AI alone is not enough. Many learners talk to AI like a chatbot, random topics, no structure, no direction. That creates entertainment, not fluency. That's why you need a roadmap. In this series, I'll show you what to practice, when to practice, how long to practice, and how to move from thinking to speaking. By the end of this roadmap, you won't be asking, how do I learn English? You'll be asking, how do I say this better? That's the shift from learning about English to living in English. And let me say something personal. English is not about sounding American. It's not about copying a British accent. English is about being understood. Your accent is not a weakness. Your clarity is what matters. The goal is not perfection. The goal is confidence with mistakes. Because fluent speakers make mistakes too. They just don't stop. So if you remember one thing from this first segment, remember this. You don't need more knowledge. You need better practice. In the next segment, we'll break down the exact daily English routine for 2026, how long you should practice, what order to follow, and how busy people build fluency without burnout. This roadmap is not theory, it's practical, it's modern, and it's built for real life. Stay with me. This is just the beginning. In segment 1, we learned one important truth. English fluency does not come from studying more rules. English fluency comes from daily correct practice. Now let me ask you something simple. How many hours do you think fluent people study English every day? The answer is surprising. Most fluent speakers do not study for long hours. They practice short but correctly. This is why many learners fail. They practice too much on some days and stop completely on other days. This creates inconsistency, and inconsistency kills fluency. So in 2026, we follow a new rule. Short, daily, focused practice beats long, irregular study. Now I will show you the daily English routine that works. This routine is designed for busy people. This routine is designed for confidence, not pressure. The total daily time is 30 to 45 minutes. That is all you need. Let's break it down step by step. The first part is daily listening with meaning. You should listen to English every day, but not random English. You must listen to clear, slow, meaningful English. Listening trains your brain to recognize patterns. Listening improves pronunciation without effort. Listening builds understanding before speaking. But here is the key lesson. Never listen passively. When you listen, always ask one question in your mind. What is the main idea? This trains comprehension. This stops translation. This builds natural understanding. You do not need to understand every word. You only need to understand the message. Fluency starts with meaning, not perfection. The second part is sentence noticing. After listening, notice one or two sentences. Do not write 10 sentences. Do not memorize grammar rules. Just notice how the sentence is formed. Notice the word order. Notice how simple English really is. For example, simple sentences are powerful. Simple English is clear English. Clear English is confident English. This step trains structure naturally. This step builds grammar without stress. This step reduces fear of speaking. The third part is micro-speaking practice. This is the most important part. This is where most learners are weak. Every day you must speak English out loud, even if you are alone. Even if your voice shakes, you only need 30 to 60 seconds. You do not need long speeches. You need short, clear thoughts. For example, you can say, "Today I listened to a short English story. I understood the main idea. I feel more confident than yesterday." This builds muscle memory. Speaking is a physical skill. Your mouth needs training, not your notebook. Mistakes are not dangerous. Silence is dangerous. Speaking imperfectly is progress. The fourth part is AI conversation practice. In 2026, AI is your biggest advantage. AI gives you unlimited conversation practice. AI never judges you, but remember one important rule. Use AI with purpose. Do not talk randomly. Choose one topic per day. Ask simple questions. Answer in simple sentences. For example, talk about your day, talk about your opinion, talk about a story you heard. This builds real-life speaking ability. This prepares you for human conversations. This reduces anxiety step by step. The fifth part is daily reflection in English. Reflection is simple but powerful. At the end of the day, say one sentence. What did I learn today? This builds awareness. This builds motivation. This helps your brain remember. Reflection turns practice into habit. Habit turns effort into fluency. Now let me talk about something very important. Many learners think speed means fluency. That is not true. Fluency means clarity. Fluency means flow, not speed. Slow and clear is better than fast and broken. So speak slowly. Think simply. Choose easy words. Native speakers do this too. Good communication is simple communication. Simple English is global English. Now let me tell you what not to do. Do not memorize long word lists. Do not study grammar for hours. Do not wait to feel confident before speaking. Confidence comes after action. Confidence is built, not found. If you feel uncomfortable, that is good. Discomfort means growth. Comfort means no progress. English is not learned in comfort. English is learned in small challenges. And here is another powerful truth. You do not need motivation every day. You need discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. That is why this routine is short. That is why this routine is realistic. That is why this routine works. If you follow this routine daily, something changes. Your listening improves first, then your thinking changes. Then speaking becomes easier. One day you will notice something special. You will start thinking in English. That is the sign of real progress. In the next segment, we will talk about story-based learning. You will learn why stories are powerful for fluency. You will learn how to use stories to speak naturally. Remember this from today's segment. Fluency is built daily, not someday. Small practice, done daily, creates big results. Stay with me, your English journey is already changing. In segment 2, we learned how to build a daily English routine. We learned that short daily practice creates real fluency. Now, in this segment, we will understand why stories are so powerful. Let me say this clearly. Humans do not remember rules easily. Humans remember stories naturally. This is how the brain works. The brain loves meaning. The brain hates memorization without context. When you learn English through stories, something special happens. Your brain connects words with emotions. Your brain connects sentences with situations. This is real learning. This is deep learning. This is long-term learning. Think about your childhood. You remember stories from many years ago, but you probably don't remember school rules. That is not because you are weak. That is because stories activate the brain better. Stories give context. Context makes language useful. Useful language becomes speakable language. Now let's talk about a common mistake. Many learners read difficult articles. They think difficulty means progress. But difficulty without understanding creates frustration. Frustration creates fear. Fear blocks speaking. In 2026, we follow a smarter method. Easy stories first, complex stories later. Easy English is not childish. Easy English is strategic. Easy English builds confidence. Confidence is the foundation of fluency. Without confidence, knowledge stays silent. When you listen to or read a story, your goal is simple. Understand what is happening. Not every word, not every grammar rule. Understanding the story trains comprehension. Comprehension comes before speaking. Speaking without comprehension creates stress. Stories also teach grammar naturally. You see grammar in action. You feel grammar instead of memorizing it. For example, tense becomes clear through time in a story. Emotion teaches tone. Repetition teaches structure. This is how native speakers learn. This is how children learn. This is how you should learn. Now let's talk about active story learning. Passive listening is not enough. Active engagement creates fluency. When you finish a short story, ask yourself one question. What happened in the story? Then answer it in 1 or 2 sentences. Do not worry about mistakes. Focus on meaning. This trains summary skills. Summary skills improve thinking. Clear thinking creates clear speaking. You can also change the story slightly. Ask, what would I do in this situation? This builds personal connection. Personal connection makes language emotional. Emotional language is memorable language. Memorable language becomes fluent language. Now let's talk about vocabulary. Stories teach vocabulary in the best way. Words appear again and again. Repetition in context is powerful. The brain needs repetition. The brain needs meaning. This is why word lists fail. Words without stories are empty. Empty words are quickly forgotten. But words inside stories stay longer. They feel familiar. They feel usable. Now let's connect stories with speaking. After listening to a story, speak about it. Even for 30 seconds, you can say what you liked. You can say what surprised you. You can say what you learned. This builds opinion skills. Opinion skills are essential for conversation. Conversation is the goal of English. Many learners wait until they are perfect. That waiting never ends. Perfection is a trap. Fluent speakers are not perfect. They are comfortable with mistakes. Comfort comes from practice. Stories create safe practice. You are not talking about yourself at first. You're talking about characters. This reduces fear. This increases courage. This builds momentum. Momentum is very important. Momentum keeps you moving. Stopping breaks fluency. Now, let me give you a simple rule. One story per day is enough. Do not overload yourself. More is not better. Consistency is better. One short story, one short response, one small win. Small wins build belief. Belief builds discipline. Discipline builds fluency. And here is something powerful to remember. English is not a subject. English is a tool. Stories show how the tool is used. Tools are learned by using them, not by studying them. In the next segment, we will talk deeply about AI conversation. You'll learn how to use AI correctly. You'll learn how AI helps you speak without fear. Remember this lesson from segment 3. Stories turn English from information into experience. Experience creates fluency. Stay with me. Your English is not stuck. It is just waiting for the right method. In segment 3, we learned why stories help English stay in your brain. We learned that meaning and emotion make language stronger. Now, in this segment, we will learn how to use AI correctly. First, let me say something important. AI does not replace real conversation. AI prepares you for real conversation. Many learners use AI like a toy. They ask random questions. They chat without purpose. That feels fun, but it does not build fluency. Fluency needs direction. Fluency needs structure. In 2026, smart learners use AI as a training partner. A training partner helps you improve step by step. A training partner does not judge you. AI gives you one big advantage. You can practice without fear. Fear is the biggest enemy of speaking. When fear is gone, your voice becomes free. When your voice is free, fluency grows. But you must follow some rules. The first rule is simple topics. Do not start with difficult subjects. Start with daily life. Daily topics are powerful. Daily topics are realistic. Realistic topics prepare you for real people. For example, talk about your day. Talk about your plans. Talk about your opinions. This builds functional English. Functional English is useful English. Useful English is confident English. The second rule is short answers. Do not try to sound smart. Try to sound clear. Clear sentences are easy to understand. Easy sentences reduce stress. Less stress means better speaking. One idea per sentence is enough. One thought at a time builds control. Control builds confidence. The third rule is repeat the same topic. Repetition is not boring. Repetition is training. When you repeat a topic, your speed improves. Your accuracy improves. Your confidence improves. This is how athletes train. This is how musicians train. Language training works the same way. The fourth rule is ask for correction. AI can correct you gently. Correction helps you grow. But do not correct everything. Too many corrections confuse the brain. Focus on one improvement at a time. For example, focus on tense today. Focus on clarity tomorrow. Small focus creates progress. Now let's talk about thinking in English. Thinking in English is a big goal. AI helps you reach it. When you speak with AI daily, your brain adapts. Your brain starts choosing English automatically. This reduces translation. Translation slows you down. Less translation means faster response. Faster response feels like fluency. AI also helps with confidence building. Confidence grows through repetition. Repetition removes fear. Fear comes from uncertainty. Practice creates certainty. Certainty creates calm. Calm speakers sound fluent. Fluency is calm, not fast. Now let's talk about a common mistake. Many learners depend too much on AI. They avoid human interaction. That is not the goal. AI is a bridge. Humans are the destination. Use AI to prepare. Use people to apply. Application creates mastery. Even one short human conversation per week is powerful. Real voices feel different. Real reactions teach you more. AI helps you rehearse. Life is the real stage. Now, here is a powerful daily habit. After AI practice, speak one sentence alone. Say what you learned. This reinforces memory. This strengthens confidence. This closes the learning loop. Learning without reflection is weak. Reflection turns action into habit. Habit builds fluency. Remember this important idea. English is not about sounding perfect. English is about connection. AI helps you practice connection safely. Connection builds courage. Courage builds fluency. In the next segment, we will talk about real conversation skills. You will learn how to speak with people naturally. You will learn how to keep conversations going. Remember today's lesson. AI is a tool, not a crutch. Use it with purpose and fluency will follow. Stay with me. You are moving closer to real English. In segment 4, we learned how AI helps us practice safely. We learned that AI prepares us for real life. Now, in this segment, we focus on real conversations with people. Real conversation is different from study. Real conversation is not about perfect sentences. Real conversation is about connection. Many learners feel nervous when talking to people. This is normal. Nervousness means you care. But nervousness becomes fear when you think too much. Thinking too much slows your speech. Slow speech creates self-doubt. So we change the goal. The goal is not to impress. The goal is to communicate. Communication is simple. Communication is sharing meaning. Meaning matters more than grammar. The first skill in real conversation is listening. Good speakers are good listeners. Listening gives you time to think. When you listen carefully, you understand the direction. Understanding the direction helps you respond. Response feels easier than starting. You do not need long answers. Short answers are natural. Natural answers feel confident. For example, you can say, "Yes, I agree. I think the same." That's interesting. These phrases keep conversations alive. Simple phrases are powerful tools. Tools are meant to be used. The second skill is asking simple questions. Questions show interest. Interest creates connection. You do not need complex questions. Simple questions work best. Simple questions reduce pressure. For example, ask, "What do you think? How was your day? Can you explain that?" These questions invite the other person to speak. When they speak more, you relax. Relaxation improves fluency. The third skill is buying time. Fluent speakers pause naturally. Pauses are not mistakes. You can use small phrases to think. Phrases like, "let me think," or "that's a good question." These phrases protect your confidence. They give your brain time. Time creates calm. The fourth skill is accepting mistakes. Mistakes are normal in conversation. Even native speakers make mistakes. Do not apologize too much. Too many apologies break flow. Flow is more important than accuracy. If someone understands you, you are successful. Understanding is the goal. Perfection is not required. Now let's talk about conversation anxiety. Anxiety comes from fear of judgment. Judgment lives in your imagination. Most people are not judging you. Most people are busy thinking about themselves. This is a freeing truth. When you stop judging yourself, others relax too. Relaxed energy improves conversation. Energy matters more than words. Now, here is a powerful technique. Focus on the message, not your language. Message first thinking removes fear. Ask yourself, "What do I want to say?" Not, "How do I say this perfectly?" This shift changes everything. Another important habit is ending conversations well. A good ending leaves a good impression. Good impressions build confidence. Simple endings are enough. Nice talking to you. I enjoyed this conversation. These phrases close conversations smoothly. Smooth endings feel professional. Professional communication builds respect. Now let's talk about practice frequency. Real conversation should be regular, but it does not need to be long. Even 5 minutes is valuable. 5 minutes of real talk beats hours of silence. Consistency creates progress. You can practice at work. You can practice online. You can practice with friends. Every conversation is training. Training builds skill. Skill builds fluency. Now remember this important rule. Do not avoid conversation. Avoiding conversation strengthens fear. Facing conversation weakens fear. Weak fear creates confidence. Confidence creates fluency. In the next segment, we will talk about thinking in English and building long-term confidence. You'll learn how fluency becomes automatic. You'll learn how English becomes part of you. Remember today's lesson. Conversation is not a test. Conversation is a shared experience. Stay with me. You are learning to speak like a real human, not a textbook. In segment 5, we learned how to speak with real people. We learned that conversation is about connection, not perfection. Now, in this segment, we focus on thinking in English. Thinking in English is a big milestone. It means your brain is adapting. It means fluency is becoming automatic. Many learners think thinking in English is impossible. That belief is wrong. Thinking in English is a skill. Skills are trained through repetition. Repetition changes the brain. The brain learns what you use daily. When you translate, your brain works twice. Double work slows speaking. Slow speaking creates frustration. So the goal is simple. Reduce translation step by step. You do not stop translating suddenly, you reduce it gradually. Gradual change is sustainable. The first technique is naming things in English. Look around you. Name what you see: chair, phone, window. This builds direct connection. Direct connection removes translation. Small habits create big change. The second technique is inner talking. Talk to yourself in English. This is powerful practice. For example, say, I am making tea. I am planning my day. I feel tired today. This trains real-time thinking. Real-time thinking improves speed. Speed feels like fluency. Do not worry about grammar here. Focus on meaning. Meaning comes first. The third technique is emotion labeling. Name your emotions in English. This builds deeper language use. For example, I feel nervous. I feel confident. I feel curious. Emotion words are important. They help you express yourself. Expression builds identity in English. The fourth technique is thinking before sleeping. Before sleep, think 1 minute in English. Review your day. This trains memory. This strengthens neural paths. The brain learns during rest. Now let's talk about patience. Thinking in English takes time. Time is not failure. Progress is often invisible. Invisible progress is still progress. Trust the process. Another mistake learners make is comparison. They compare themselves to others. Comparison creates pressure. Pressure blocks thinking. Calm allows flow. Flow creates fluency. Your journey is personal. Your speed is correct for you. Consistency matters more than speed. Now let's talk about automatic responses. Automatic responses mean less thinking. Less thinking means more confidence. You can build automatic phrases. For example, that makes sense. I see what you mean. Let me think. These phrases buy time. Time reduces stress. Stress-free speaking feels fluent. Practice these phrases daily. Daily practice makes them natural. Natural language is fluent language. Now let's talk about mistakes again. Mistakes still happen. That is normal. Fluent speakers do not panic. They correct calmly or continue. Calm reaction is fluency. Now remember this key idea: thinking in English is not a goal, it is a result. It comes from daily use, it comes from simple practice, it comes from patience. In the next and final segment, we will build your complete 2026 English roadmap. We will connect all parts together. We will turn learning into a lifestyle. Remember today's lesson. Fluency feels automatic because it is trained daily. What you think in, you speak in. Stay with me. You are closer than you think. In segment 6, we learned how thinking in English becomes natural. We learned that fluency is trained, not gifted. Now, in this final segment, we connect everything together. This is your complete English learning roadmap for 2026. Let us remember one important truth first. English is not a subject. English is a daily habit. Habits shape identity. Identity shapes confidence. Confidence creates fluency. So the roadmap is simple. Simple systems work best. Complex systems fail easily. The first part of your roadmap is daily input. You listen to English every day. You listen for meaning, not perfection. Meaning trains understanding. Understanding comes before speaking. Speaking without understanding creates fear. The second part is story-based learning. Stories give context. Context makes language real. Real language stays longer in the brain. The brain remembers experiences. Stories are experiences. The third part is micro speaking. You speak every day. Even 30 seconds is enough. Speaking trains your mouth. Training builds muscle memory. Muscle memory creates automatic speech. The fourth part is AI practice. AI gives safe practice. Safe practice removes fear. Fear is the biggest blocker of fluency. When fear is gone, progress is fast. AI helps you practice without judgment. The fifth part is real conversation. Real people give real reactions. Real reactions build confidence. You do not wait to be perfect, you speak to improve. Improvement comes from action. The sixth part is thinking in English. Thinking in English is a result, comes from daily use. You reduce translation slowly. Slow change is lasting change. Lasting change builds real fluency. Now, here is the most important part. Consistency beats motivation. Motivation is emotional. Emotion changes daily. Habit stays strong. You do not need long study hours. You need daily contact with English. Daily contact rewires the brain. Even on busy days, do something small. Small actions protect momentum. Momentum keeps you moving. Now let's talk about identity. Fluent speakers do not think, I am learning English. They think, I use English. This shift is powerful. Usage builds ownership. Ownership builds confidence. You are not preparing to speak English someday. You are speaking English now. Now is where fluency starts. Do not wait for perfect pronunciation. Do not wait for perfect grammar. Progress comes from use. Mistakes are proof of action. Action is proof of growth. Growth leads to fluency. Now let me say something important. Your accent is not a problem. Your clarity is what matters. English is a global language. Global English is diverse. Clear English connects people. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your ideas matter. English is the tool that carries them. Now imagine your future self. You speak without fear. You understand naturally. You do not panic in conversations. You enjoy communication. English feels normal. That future is not far. It is built daily, one small habit at a time. If you follow this roadmap, change will come. First, your listening improves. Then your responses get faster. Then one day, you notice something special. You stop translating. You just speak. That moment is powerful. That moment is earned. That moment is fluency. Remember this final lesson. English fluency is not a destination. It is a lifestyle you build daily. Thank you for staying with me through this roadmap. Your journey is real. Your progress is possible. Keep practicing. Keep speaking. And most importantly, keep believing. This is not the end. This is your beginning.